Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest where you just have nothing to ask anymore? Try Podex today. Podex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards and pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment, all with Podex. Head over to podex.com and use code C4C. Welcome to day 6 of the Content Creators of Color. My name is Kat Corchado, and I am the host of the Sisters in Service podcast. February is Black History Month. And for those of you that don't know, I am a retired Air Force veteran. I'm female, and this story in particular really touched home for me. This is about an all-Black, all-female battalion that served overseas during World War II. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, big deal. But hold on for a second. These were the women during a time, and men, who wanted to fight for their country at a time when their country did not respect who they were as people. I'm just going to put it out there. So let's go back to World War II. Remember Hitler? Remember the bully he was? A lot of minorities wanted to wear the uniform because they knew what was at stake. And they wanted to help out regardless of what was happening to them in their own homeland. So they put on the uniform, irregardless of the discrimination that they faced while in the military. Separate but equal, separate eating places, separate bunking places, separate sanitation, or let me just put out there, bathroom. Everything was separate. So imagine for a second that a battalion of women, Black women, decide that they want to serve their country. What do you do with them? Back at that time, women weren't really considered being able to do anything much in the service. They couldn't fight physically. So what else could they do? So they gave them a mission that seemed almost impossible. And I'll tell you what that mission is in just a second. So imagine that you are World War II. You're away from your family, and you haven't gotten a letter in maybe 1-2 years. What would that do for your morale? Just think about that for a second. Maybe you're hurt, maybe you're injured. I don't care how good a commander you are. If your morale is low, nothing is going to get done. In walks this all-Black, all-female battalion that's serving in England. They haven't been able to distribute mail for over 2 years. So back in World War II, when the Selective Training and Service Act became the nation's first peacetime draft law in September 1940, civil rights leaders pressured President Roosevelt to allow Black men the opportunity to register and serve in integrated regiments. Although African Americans had participated in every conflict since the Revolutionary War, they had done so segregated. They served in World War II over 1.2 million African American men. They fought for their country overseas while being treated like second-class citizens. The 688 Central Postal Directory Battalion, known as the 688, was the only Black female battalion to serve in Europe during World War II. By the end of the war, the 688 had cleared over 17 million pieces of backlogged mail, ensuring the troops stayed in touch with their loved ones back home. They were stationed in Birmingham, England. So imagine for a minute that your family's writing you, but you're not getting their mail. The average soldier wrote 6 letters a week, and those letters took anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks to cross the ocean to the United States, or from the United States back to Europe where the war was moving forward. How did the 688 do it, you ask? They worked in 3 different shifts, 7 days a week, processing and delivering mail A morale booster, mind you, because there weren't phones, couldn't phone home. All you had were handwritten letters. But they delivered this mail to the fighting troops in Europe. Each shift handled an estimated 65,000 pieces of mail. Now, some people say that these women were set up for failure. The military said, let's give them 6 months to a year to do this. They did it in 3 months. Then they returned home to the United States with no fanfare, no band. They never got a parade. They never got a salute. So let's give these women their due, because what they did was huge. And they did it at a time that was difficult, at a time when mail was the only connection to your family. The isolation by itself is enough to just drop your morale to zero. Think about in this day and age when we're fighting with COVID, with the fact that we had to stay in our homes for however long was driving us nuts. So I hope that you will reach out to your state, local, and federal legislators and say, please, this needs to happen. These women need this recognition. My name is Kat Corchado, and I am a content creator of color.